Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of sketching here in SketchUp. I'm just going to do a floor plan for the school bus. And I was going to do this as a video, but there just probably wasn't going to be enough content to make a full form video for this. So instead I'm going to do it as a live stream. I'm not going to make a regular habit of doing live streams, but because of the way my job is, I've changed jobs recently, and I've started doing more away from home stuff. It's become a lot harder for me to do editing, so I'm probably gonna have to change up my schedule a little bit. I might do more editing on Saturdays and uploading on Sundays instead of doing editing on Fridays, but we'll see how that works out. I know this coming week I'm going to be away from home the entire week, Monday to Friday, so I'm probably not going to have a chance to do any work on the bus, and I'm definitely not going to have any chance to do any editing. So I might just push everything back to, let's say, like I might push videos to Mondays, like Monday afternoons, Monday evenings instead. But we'll see how it goes. I'll put out a community post about it to see how people react and respond to it. So first, so the other day I went out to my bus and I took some measurements, and I need to do a proper floor plan. I have a pretty basic idea where everything's going, but I need to actually put it down on paper so that I can plot out where I want my water lines, where my gas lines, all that kind of stuff, where all that's going to run. So I'm going to get started. I know the basic width of the bus is going to be entity info. Here we go. I know the width of the bus is 91 inches, but I need to account for the width of the walls as well. So I've accounted for 3 inches of shrink, so I'm going to put that at 88 inches. So that's 7 feet 4 inches wide. Now the back room is going to be 117 inches long. So this is my back room. Okay. Sorry, I'm just gonna do it quick. That's not what I wanted. I want this. Orbit. There we go. Okay. Pan. Okay. Alright, so that's my back room. The next one, the bathroom, is 59 inches long. That down across to there. There we go. So that's bathroom. No, that's not what I want. Pan. Okay, and then from there, I know on the passenger side, the counter, so we need 31 inches of counter. So again, this is probably not going to be exact. Of counter, so that's going to be counter space. The next one I know that the width of the oven is 20 inches. So I'm going to put a line there. And then this counter section is going to be 59 inches. So that's more counter there. And then from here to the... So 64 inches for drums. That's not what I wanted. That's 64 inches there. And then from the drums, so the door is 31 inches wide. Gonna double check the width on this one is 5'4". Yep, okay. And then to the front of the bus is approximately 8.5 inches. Okay, so that's my basic bus layout there. And we'll go from here to there. And we'll delete the overlap. Okay, so that's my basic layout right there. Okay, so we'll start at the back. So we know the bed is 54 inches wide. So that means it goes from here to here. And then the bed will be and then I need to figure out how long the bed is. Good thing is I have a tape measure here, so I'm going to quickly measure that. It should be something like 74. Yep. So the bed is going to be 74 inches long. So there's the bed. Now beside the bed is going to be a filing cabinet. And it is 18 inches wide. There we go. 18 inches wide. Now I don't know how deep it is, so I'm going to do that give that a quick measure. So it's 2 feet long. There we go. So that's the filing cabinet. And then there's going to be an 18-inch space. And then there's going to be the washer-dryer stack, which is approximately 26 and a half. Okay. Now, I don't know how long a washer-dryer stack usually is, so I'm going to guess and just do this. The width here doesn't really matter because as long as it meets the minimum width requirements that I have for this, it should be fine. Now, there is something I do need to put in here as well. I need to put in a window. So 29.5 inches from the back of the bus, I need to put a door. Or a window, sorry. Okay, and then the window is approximately, I'm going to do just like 3 inches. And then it comes out, how wide is it? 35 3/4. Okay, so that's the window. Like so. Okay, so we got a window which overlaps the bed. There, something like that. So that's a window there. And next we got so I'm going to have to pan over to here. Now these walls that's the midpoint. That's not the midpoint. That's not the midpoint at all. I'm so confused here. Oh, I see. I know what's going on. Midpoint has to be here. There we go. Okay. So I know that this wall has to be approximately, what was it again? Two and 3/4 thick. 2 and 3/4 inches thick. You're probably really confused as to why I'm putting in the width of the walls, because I have to account for that when I'm doing this. Up to there, and down to there. Like that. Now I need to go from my center point, which is here, and take this. Needs to be 15 inches wide, and this one's also going to be 15 inches. So this is the width of my quarter, basically. So if I go like this, then I can go like this, this, and that. And then I can start erasing stuff. Okay, that gives me my bathroom. So this will be the shower on the top here, and this here on the bottom will be the toilet area. Okay. So we got that figured out. Now I'm going to go on to the driver's side of the bus. So I have a 55-inch TV. Or 55-inch width TV. So I'm going to go to from here. First I'm going to delete this here. And I'm going to go in set that to, I'm going to say 3 inches. Inches. That's my TV. Okay. 55-inch TV. From the bed to the window is 3 1/4 inches. That's going to come across to there. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And I'm going to take this one and set it to 3 1/4 inches. Or sorry, it's 3 inches. And the width of the window is 16 inches. So that's my window. And then from the window, yeah, so there's a cabinet here that goes in between. So I'm going to measure that. By 21. So the width of the cabinet is 32 inches. And it is 21 inches long. There we go. So we got a cabinet. That'll be my clothes cabinet. Oh, and by the way, there's an empty blank space at the bottom of the bed there that you can see between the TV and the bed. That will be filled with cabinet. I'll have other stuff there. There we go. So that's that. Okay. We start here. So from here, there's going to be a fridge. I'm just going to go measure the fridge for a quick second, because I don't know how deep a fridge is. Okay, so I know that the fridge is going to be 30 inches wide. This is if I'm choosing to do a full-size fridge. I might go with an apartment size, which would be slightly smaller. But it doesn't really make much of a difference anyways. So yes, the fridge will be sticking out into my walkway a little bit, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Okay, so we have that. Just need to check how wide this is here. 2 foot 5 inches. Okay. So, countered. On the driver's side, 30 and a quarter. So we're going to go 30 and a quarter inches. And then here we have a window. Which is, what's the window width? 16 inches? No, that's not right. 17-inch wide window. There we go. Another window. And then another counter. 34 and a half. Inches. There we go. And then the rest will be an entertainment area. So this to here is driver, and then entertainment. So this here has to match up with, what's the width on this one here? 2 foot 5 inches. That comes across there. So that's going to be countertop with my sink. My sink will be in front of the window. So I'm just going to do a really quick and dirty rectangle. Sink thing. That didn't go how I wanted it to. We'll do this. There we go. So that'll be my sink-ish. That's not the exact position, but it gets the point across. In here, I'm gonna have toilet and sink. And then here is where my entertainment unit's going to be. So I'm going to bring this out to here. And I don't know how deep I need my entertainment area to be. But ideally I want to keep that 30 inches as much as I can. So I'm at 21 and a half. Okay, I should theoretically go a little bit narrower. Because I'm going to need, at least 30 inches. When I'm relaxing and watching, I want to have 38 inches. So from the center line of the bus, actually no, because the width of the drums is important too. Drums. Yes, so I'm going to do, approximately, I'm going to say the drums are 3 feet wide. It's probably a bit more or less than that. 3 feet. So that'll be my drum set area. And this, what was this again? This was 2 foot 5, so I'm going to make this 2 foot 5. Bring that across to here. There we go. So that'll be my drum set area. And now from here, I'm going to need probably 38 inches. Oh, that's tight. Okay, I'm going to delete this one. Okay. 38 inches. What does that give me for 1 foot 2 inches for my entertainment area? That's pretty small. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Okay, so instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm going to have to make some compromises here. So the drum set can go flatter if I really want it to. This is in a perfect scenario. Drums can move, right? So I'm just allotting this space because I know I need at least that width. The depth can be adjusted. And I can always put the drum stool in the center aisle when I'm actually playing. So I'm going to assume 30 inches. And that will give me 1 foot 10 inches. So almost 2 feet. 1 foot. So that'll be 22 inches. Yeah, that's more than enough. Yeah. Yep, that's about what I have now. So that's plenty of desk space for what I need. I'll delete that. So this is, of course, the driver's area. So here would be the steps. So I'm just going to bring them out to... Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's do that again. So how wide? This is 3 feet, so I'm just going to say this is 3 feet. And this will be the steps. So I'll just do this to kind of, you know, get the point across that that's the steps. And then, I believe here-ish, yeah, right here is probably where I'm going to want to have some storage, probably, I don't know, shoes, that kind of thing. Now, over here, this was 2 foot 5 inches. How deep is the stove? I don't really know. And it doesn't really matter because it's going to be the same depth as the counter because I will offset it from the wall if I need to. So I'm going to go 2 foot 5 inches, 2 foot 5 inches. And then I can delete that. And do the same thing with this. That's not what I wanted. Take this and all the way to there. What's this? Why is there a random artifact? That should not be. Okay. Now, from this doorway here, there's a window. It's 4.5 inches back. So I'm going to take this, bring it back 4.5 inches. Three inches in. And then the window itself is approximately, it was 30 and 35 and 3/4. There we go. And that's a window. Okay. So that's the basic layout of the bus right there. Here's where the driver's seat area is going to be. There is a window here. I don't know the exact dimensions, so I'm just going to say here-ish. It doesn't really matter because there's really not much here to do. I'll just say there to there. Yes, that's a window. So that's the driver's window right there. So that's the basic layout of the bus. There are going to be a few more things I'm going to add in here and there. So like for example here, from the edge of the bed to the TV, there's going to be a cabinet of some kind. I'm probably going to add more cabinetry. Oh, I forgot on the driver's side, there's a window in the shower area. And I know there's going to be people that are be like, why did you put a window in the shower? Because, like, isn't that going to cause problems with moisture and blah, blah, blah. Actually, there's a reason. The reason I put the window in the shower is because I'm not planning to have a ventilation fan in the shower area. So my next best option is to have a window that I can open to help ventilate that area. It'll also serve as an inlet for air when I'm doing, let's say, like when I have the toilet fan running, which yes, I'm going to have a toilet fan. It's going to serve as an inlet so that the air will come across the bus and go out through the toilet, and that will vent any foul odors from the toilet. So what I'm going to do is, on the driver's side, so there's a window 4.5 inches from the outer wall. So 4.5 inches right there. It's going to come across to here. And then from here, it's going to come out 3 inches. Yep. And then I'm going to delete these. And how wide is the window? 21 3/4. There we go. To there. And then I can take this and delete that. So that's a window there as well. So the plan is I need to have a showering area of, let's see, what was the width of this? 2 foot 5 inches. So I'm going to go, I would say 3 feet. And that will give me, how wide is this? 1 foot and a half. Is that enough? No, it's not. I'm going to have to do a little more than that. I'm going to say 30 inches. Because that's kind of my standard. That might be a bit too much. How long is that? 2.5 feet. An actual shower area. So that's 30 inches. Okay, yeah, that'll be fine. 2 foot 6 inches. That's 30 inches, isn't it? Yeah, 2 foot 6 inches. And this will be, oh, 2 feet. Okay, I'm gonna say I don't strictly need 30 inches. I'm gonna say 2 feet here. Again, this doesn't, like, I will know for sure when I actually get in and build stuff. This will be one of the last things that I build. So 2 feet, that's wide enough for me to go through. That shouldn't be a problem. So that gives me, how wide is this then? 2.5. Okay, I can survive that. So 2 3/4. This will be a wall here with 2 3/4. 2 3/4. There we go. And that will run across to there. So that'll be another wall. So this will be my showering area. And then the entrance, of course, where the window is. The window is going to have, I'm planning to put some of that textured stuff on the window, so it lets light through, but you won't be able to see through the glass because it is fairly low, and yeah, my crotch area is going to be right in front of the window. So obviously, for privacy's sake, I want to have some privacy film on there, and I think that's about it. I think that's my layout. Relatively quickly, actually. How long was that? 45 minutes? Not even. 35 minutes to do that. So, only thing that's left is I'm going to save this. No, I don't want to purge items. Projects, yeah, sure. It's going to be called Plus Floorplan version 3. Save. Perfect. Okay, now I need to take this. How do I turn this into a... Okay, I need a label button. Is there a label button on here? Tags? That's not what I wanted. Is there a label button? Ooh, there we go. Text. Perfect. Bed. Enter text bed. Bed. Oops, that's not what I wanted. No! Delete! Delete this! Me no like. Text. Filing cabinet. Yes, and then take this. Wait. And move. Move it! No, that's not. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Thank goodness. Where's the text button? There it is. There we go. Good enough. And then this one is washer dryer. Hold on a second. If I pan. Okay, let's just not do that then, okay? Let's just, yeah. Well, I'll just leave it like the way it is. This is close cabinet. Sorry guys, I'm using red switches on my keyboard, and they're kind of hard to type on. Shower. This is toilet. Toilet. Sink. And we got here is going to be fridge. Here's going to be stove. Now, if you guys are paying attention here, if you know anything about interior design, you might have heard of the golden triangle. Basically, you want there to be a triangle between all three of your workstations, essentially. Right? Because that's generally the easiest way to... how should I put it? It's the easiest way to get around your kitchen without running into anything. And it just goes... Good workflow. Wow. I'm really good at making explanations, aren't I? Anyway, so as you can see, between the fridge, the stove, and the sink, there's a triangle. Right? This also allows me, so if I'm going to open the stove, it won't interfere with the fridge. And if I open the fridge, it won't interfere with the stove. So I'm just going to delete those for a quick second. Why did I make this difficult for myself? Okay, I'm just going to do this. Come on. Stove, sink, fridge. Okay. This. Just. Yeah, sure. Delete, I say. Sink. That did not go at all how I wanted it to. Why did it do that? Why? Why you make things difficult? Fine. Go away. There we go. Go away. There we go. Sink. Yes, there we go. Okay. Here is drums. And here is entertainment center. Entertainment center, that is my computer desk. I call my entertainment center because it does everything. These are the steps. And here is driver area. And here is going to be, what shall I call it? Storage. Okay, so, one of the biggest issues I'm running into right now is trying to figure out where do I put my electrical stuff. I have to plan for this. So I basically have two options. So I don't particularly need this area here. So this gray area here, kind of between the drums and the stove there, that is supposed to be countertop. But what I'm thinking is I don't really need that much countertop. Like, you think about it, like this here, this line, is 6 feet of countertop already. And I have another 2 foot 7 inches of countertop here as well. So I don't strictly need to have that much counter space. So I could potentially put my electrical stuff under here. So I'll do that. That didn't go how I wanted. Let's delete. So I could put my electrical there. Or, alternatively, I could put it here between the washer dryer and the filing cabinet. Only problem with that is come on, there. So it's a foot and a half of room, 18 inches. That's really not enough room to do an electrical panel and everything that I need to put in there. So I don't think that's an option. I could put it under the window, but I'm trying to avoid putting anything electrical under a window just in case there's a leak or something like that. I just don't want to deal with that. Just for safety's sake. Why is the bed doing weird things? Why is this so difficult? Fine, go away. Okay. So I'm going to say that my electrical stuff is going to go beside the stove here. Probably, I'm going to say, because this is like that, I will make, how wide is that? I'm going to say 2.5 feet-ish. That should be more than enough for my electrical. What? Wow, okay. So I'm going to put a question mark because that is potential. Yeah, okay. That gives you a pretty good idea of what the bus is going to look like. I'm just going to set it like so. I'm going to delete that because that's not what I wanted. Why is it like that? Why is this here? But yeah, I'll just do this. Shower. Driver. And there you go. There's the basic idea. Bed. Storage. Yeah, and this here is countertop. Countertop, electrical drums can be moved. I just want to select drums. Let me select it. Okay, fine, whatever. There you have it. So that's the basic layout of the bus. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. This is not 100%. Like, there's going to be some things that will change as I'm building, because there will be tiny variances in, like, the wall widths and like the way the drums are set up with the steps. Like, that's not 100% right either. Like, the way these steps are over here, I don't know the actual length of how wide these steps are. I know that there's the center line of the bus is roughly here. So, and the whole idea behind the way I designed this as well is I'm trying to even out the weight as much as I can. So I have my clothes cabinet over here, right? That's a fairly heavy thing. Washer and dryer to kind of balance that out. So the washer and dryer are going to be a stack. And on the other side, you got the fridge. Then you have your stove on this side, and so on and so forth. I'm trying to balance out the weight as much as I can. My water storage is going to be under the bed. My clean water, rather. And then the reason I put the sink in the shower on the driver's side of the bus is because this is the side that I'm planning to put my my gray water tank on. So that means that it's going to run much less. It doesn't have to run as far to get to the gray water tank. Now, theoretically, I could put the washer dryer on the same side and run it all together into the gray tank. Problem is, the washer dryer is fairly heavy. And so what I did is I put that on the other side of the bus to kind of balance it out. So it's a compromise that I had to make. I'm not particularly happy with that, but it was either that or have a lopsided bus. So the reason I put the stove on this side is because this is where my generator, my propane, all that stuff is going to be stored on this side of the bus. So I want to have the stove to have the least amount of distance between the propane and the stove. Same thing with the washer dryer. I can run gas lines across the side of the bus to the washer dryer, and that should be fairly easy to run all together. Beyond that, I don't really have anything else to say. I think that's the end of that. There you go. There's my basic layout. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time, I guess, and have a wonderful weekend.